Save half price on fresh pork shoulder roast, just $2.39 per pound. Save $1.30 on white whole mushrooms, $2.99 for a 10-ounce package. New frozen 9-ounce Taipei Asian-style entree, just $3.99 for select varieties. Frozen 12.3-ounce Eggo waffles, $4.59 for select varieties. $3.99 for a 5-ounce bag of select varieties of wholesome pantry organic popcorn. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
You're watching Bermuda Broadcasting News. It's Friday, April the 13th. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Bermuda's entertainment scene has got bigger and more varied in recent years, but many people say it still lags well behind its rivals for the tourist dollar. But that might be about to change. Tourism Minister Jamal Simmons says he's aiming to give visitors a better experience from an entertainment perspective. To assist in that effort, the minister revealed his department is looking to get a wide range of views on the subject and carry out an entertainment nightlife assessment.
They'll be led by Senator Caesar, MP Lawrence Scott, and MP Dennis Lister. What we want to do is, in collaboration with all the stakeholders, entertainers, the business community, the Entertainers Union, identify what is stopping us from becoming a more welcoming, more inviting, more fun jurisdiction. From the business perspective, we want to know what are those things that if government got out of the way would enable you to hire more Bermudians, offer more entertainment, enhance and innovate your product. From the entertainer standpoint, what are the things that we could be doing to assist or to get out of the way so that you have more opportunities to showcase your talent and highlight your talent? And from the local perspective, getting the public to understand where we stand now, where we need to go when we go into spaces such as trying to attract super yachts, when we're trying to get into a more diverse, more inclusive tourism audience. What are the things that we have the tolerance for as a community to move the dial forward? And I think when we combine those three viewpoints, we will get to where we need to be in very short order.
Reminded that Bermuda can at times be somewhat resistant to change, the minister stated it's something that will be taken into consideration, but
we cannot keep doing what we've always done and expect to get something different. And part of why we want to consult is first to get the public to understand where we are, where we need to go, and then be in a position to meet in the middle. I think that we can no longer be the land of no. If where our competition allows people to have a little drink on the beach, and this is something that's deterring people from coming here, is deterring people from having experience, we have to talk about that. And I think that we should be prepared to talk about every aspect of this that makes Bermuda more appealing and more attractive. But not just that. It's not just about people being able to make more money. How can we now allow people who have entrepreneurial ideas, who have ways that can enhance and strengthen our product, how can we make sure that there is an easier path for them getting there? And I think that's what we want to do. We don't want to be a country where we say no to everything. We want to say yes to more that works and benefits Bermudians. Bermuda cannot be all things to all people, and we recognize that. But if we can come up with an idea, and I'm prepared to understand that there will be some things that may not be popular, but may create benefits that have great long-term benefits for the country. We should not be afraid to have that discussion.
In other news, a 60-year-old man was taken to a hospital after he fell down a 30-foot deep manhole behind the Barclay Institute this morning. The BTC worker was operating in a utility shaft while servicing CITV, whose offices are located behind the Barclay Institute. Police spokesman Dwayne Keynes described the incident.
Well, that gentleman from BTC was going down that service crate, which has about a 30-foot little different degrees of depth. He was going down, and it appears that he lost his footing on the ladder, which he dropped 25 feet. Now, this resulted in 9 individuals from the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service, as well as workers from Bermuda Telephone Company and Bermuda Electric Light Company working feverishly, along with personnel from Barclay Institute and the EMTs actually working to extricate him out of the hole. This took about 50 minutes. They lifted him out. He was alive and alert. Looked a bit battered and bruised, but nonetheless, he was alive. He was taken to King Edward Memorial Hospital, where he's now being treated. Very significant effort by the Bermuda Fire Service. They had 9 men, and very challenging circumstances because the circumference of the hole was very narrow and very steep. So very good work by all of those involved.
And there they go now.
Mr. Keynes also said there will be a full investigation into the incident by government's Health and Safety Department. We'll have more news for you after this short break, including some outspoken words about the ban on same-sex marriage. Stay with us.
You can count on us.
Value pack fresh Purdue chicken leg quarters, $1.79 per pound. Only $1.99 for a large California grapefruit. Only $1.99 for one roll Scott Choose the Sheet paper towel. Save $1.06 on select varieties of Minute Maid 100% fruit juices. $6.79 for a 10-pack. Save half price on Dettol Antiseptic. Just $2.99 for a 500 milliliter bottle. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Welcome back. Mark Anderson, the vocal gay rights activist between the drag queen character Sybil Barrington, has come out against calls for Bermuda to be boycotted for its reversal of same-sex marriage. He's the second person to speak out this week following a statement from tourism boss Kevin Dallas, who called for overseas groups not to punish the island. Speaking to Tarai Trot today, Mr. Anderson stated that any harm to the island's economy would ultimately impact local residents who are gay or lesbian.
Bermuda is still a good place to be. It's still a good place to work, and I just would like for the my foreign gay community members that live outside of Bermuda not to push the button and not to threaten to boycott Bermuda. This is something that I don't want. Because as a Bermudian, I do work here, and as a Bermudian, I know that it will hurt me also because I do work in the tourism industry. Yes, I'm against any boycotts for the island at this time.
American television personality Ellen DeGeneres and Carnival Cruise Lines, which has ships registered here, were just some of the voices overseas to criticize Bermuda's abandonment of same-sex marriages in favor of domestic partnerships. However, Mr. Anderson believes much of the criticism from overseas stems from misinformation.
When it comes to overall, you're still going to have some people that have some resentment towards what's happened. And I find in my mind that the people that are resenting, this reversal same-sex marriage to what it is today are people that are non-Bermudian. I do feel that you have some people that will act out in anger and, because they don't fully understand what's really happening. Me as a Bermudian first, Bermudian first, I understand the way of life in Bermuda. There are some things that I'm disappointed in, and there are some things that I'm not so disappointed in. For example, we have a beautiful court system, I think, that has actively acted on for the gay community. And at this point, I just think that it's best just to let it rely, with the courts. Just let it, take its process.
In other news this evening, the Barclay Institute is continuing the celebrations of its 120th anniversary with an art exhibition and silent auctions. Works by distinguished alumni, teachers, and current students are on display, with staff at the school saying they hope the exhibition will encourage students to make art that inspires and educates. Hal Davis reports.
For more than 60 years, art has been taught at the school, and the fruits of all that labour now fill the walls of this exhibition space. Among the images, this one by the school's very first art teacher, Charles Lloyd Tucker, the land tax meeting, a protest against unfair taxes. Fittingly, there's also work by artists Mr. Tucker inspired, Otto Trott among them. He himself was an art teacher at the school for 8 years. So what did teachers like Mr. Trott and the school itself give students? Al Seymour has donated some cells from an animated film he made. He's from the Berkeley class of 1979.
I was an art student, and I had some really great teachers. Otto Trott comes to mind, and the school allowed us to do a lot of things because a lot of my friends and myself, we actually made a couple of movies at Berkeley, and I was doing animation and the artwork and stuff. as a teenager. So Berkeley was a great vehicle. It was great. We had art shows and all kinds of things. So, it's just been looking back, it's been a great time.
But it's not just alumni who are displaying their work. Art by those currently attending the school is also on display. And for them, the work by previous students is an inspiration.
My favorite piece is a very vibrant piece titled Africa from Jalika, class of 2017, graduated last year. It is very vibrant, as I said, and I am attracted to vibrant colors, so that is a piece that inspires me.
Among the most striking works by the current generation of students is this large piece by Alia Pavey, complete with her own poetry.
I think art should be visually appealing, but it should also have a story and say something. It should make you think and actually sit back and be like, So that's what I was trying to convey in this piece.
This isn't just an exhibition, it's also a silent auction. So if you fancy any of the pieces on display, come along from Friday and you can make a bid for them. The bidding finishes on Saturday the 21st, with proceeds going to the school. But the exhibition is not so much a fundraiser as a celebration of this institution's artistic legacy. And its current strength too, as the organiser of the show says.
I am very impressed. Of course, the alumni, I expect that, high standards. And the students, they have done a fantastic job. And the teachers, I commend them for working with them.
So a show that Charles Lloyd Tucker himself might well be proud of, and one that both celebrates a tradition while providing funds to help the whole school. Howell Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM is brought to us by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group. And we have great weather this weekend. It's nice to have some good news for you, at least for Saturday and Sunday. Most of Monday looks good as well. Eventually, we'll begin to see rain return by Tuesday morning, but that's still several days away. So our most recent front is pushing away. The satellite estimated rainfall is not around. We're looking good, nice and dry out there this evening and tonight. Here's a look at the satellite loop once again, and a little skiff of clouds rolled through the area, but there's not much to that, and that's pushing away to the south. So it is mainly clear as we transition deeper into the evening. 68 degrees across most of the island, looking pretty good right now. Humidity will be around 65% for a couple more hours. Wind is a little bit breezy, but it's not terrible. A wind from the east at 10 to 15 knots. Water temp is holding at 72. Pretty warm for this time of the year. And on the inside, we have fairly flat water, only around 1 foot wave height. For the outside, we have 3 to 5 footers rolling around for now, and those wave heights may subside a little bit later at night. Mainly clear. We look good. 66. Enjoy it here. Beautiful weekend for us. And if you head out there to the water, there will be high tide coming up soon at 7:55 this evening. The tide goes out at 2 a.m. And then it comes back in 8:16 high tide Saturday morning. Low tide again at 2:18. Heads out for the early afternoon. Tomorrow, a great day, mostly sunny, pleasant weather, 72 for your high. It's nice to deliver some good news on a weekend here on ZBM. So we have a nice Bermuda high pressure system, our namesake, because it's often parked over our area, and the center of it is maybe just a couple, maybe 100 miles to the northeast, looking good. And that will continue to prevent us from any kind of weather trouble for the next couple of days. Be safe if you're out and about. We do have generally fair boating weather, and the nice weather will continue for Saturday. Saturday night, here we are at 11 p.m., and the Bermuda high has moved a little farther east. We might notice a slight increase in that flow from the south, but it still looks pleasant. And that's good news. And as we travel around the eastern part of North America, it's cold in Toronto, 35 with some snow there, but you step south. Great day in New York City, 67. Boston's going to begin to cool down with some showers. A backdoor cold front will drop in from the north, from Canada, and that's going to cause some issues in Boston. But look at the contrast, 82 in Atlanta. That looks nice. Miami, scattered showers. London looks a little wet there. Maybe some showers and maybe a stray thunderstorm in the area of the United Kingdom. Into the Caribbean, warm, spotty showers, a little unsettled, but not bad across most of the Caribbean. Our local extended forecast looks great for Saturday and Sunday. Monday still looks good. More clouds, though. Tuesday, get ready for a band of rain. Tuesday morning, that'll be fairly widespread. We'll all get wet Tuesday, and then we'll be drier and brighter once again for Wednesday. Not bad. Enjoy your weekend. Back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
My name is Kevin Roberts. I'm a taxi driver / ambassador. My father's with BF&M, so am I. Half of my family always seemed to be with Bermuda Flying Marine. I tried a different provider at one time, but I wasn't too happy with the competition. Because then it took too long to settle claims. They questioned every claim, and I never really had that problem with BF&M. I'm quite happy with it.
It's one of the most uncomfortable things to think about. But the truth is, you are going to die.
I would be on a ventilator for a maximum of 4 days.
I don't want any pain. Medicating me to a point that I'm unable to communicate, I'm okay with that.
In no situation would I want to be kept alive on machines.
Mortality is an inevitability, so why is talking about it so taboo? Having no plan in place can leave families at loggerheads and can be a major drain on the healthcare system.
Join me, Tony Waterman, for a week-long special looking at end-of-life care here in Bermuda. From hospice and wills to the latest technology helping seniors thrive, we'll arm you with the information to help demystify that final journey we all have to take. Talking Death, starting April 23rd.
Welcome back. 3 scholarships from the Bermuda Hospitality Institute are up for grabs for those studying in hospitality or in another tourism-related field. The BHI raised the money at last year's charitable golf tournament in honor of the late hospitality worker Thomas Tabor. Malika Cartwright, the executive director of the BHI, says exciting things are happening in the sector, and the aim is to help students gain their qualifications.
We're looking for students who firstly have a passion for hospitality and tourism. We're also looking for students who want to come back to Bermuda and work in our industry, because as you know, we are desperately looking for people to work in the hospitality industry and have a career in hospitality. It's not an academic scholarship, but you do have to have a minimum GPA of 2.5 in order to qualify. And you also have to be either studying at Bermuda College or abroad.
Why is hospitality important?
Hospitality is everybody in Bermuda, and that's why it's important. Most people, when they come to Bermuda, the best thing about their trip, a lot of times, is the people that they meet. And most times, those are the Bermudian people. And hospitality has been our bread and butter for a lot of years. And I think that now people are paying a little bit more attention, where you may have taken your eye off of it. It's kind of one of those things that's always been there, but you took it for granted because it just always was there. But now with so many different things happening, you have Willowbank that's opening back up. You have all of these new properties that are coming on board in the next couple of years.
Last year's golf tournament raised $13,000, which will be handed to the successful scholarship applicants. 2 $5,000 scholarships will be awarded, plus another worth $3,000.
And all the funds go towards the scholarship. If it doesn't go towards this, if it hasn't gone to a scholarship, it's gone towards assisting people in different programs. So it helped us to start the junior chef program at Bermuda College, which is a program for young people who are interested in culinary arts for ages 10 through 15. We've held that camp for 2 years now, and we'll be holding it again this year in July, and registration will be opening soon for that. We were able to assist 2 students who went through the Bermuda College PACE waiter-server program. So 2 young people went through that program last year from some of the funds.
And to apply, log on to bermudascholarships.com. The deadline is April the 30th. This year's golf tournament takes place on September 24th at Port Royal, with all teams invited. And an official book of condolences is available for those who wish to pay their respects to the late journalist, historian, and Senator Ira Phillip. Mr. Phillip died at the age of 92 earlier this week. The book is being kept at the Cabinet Office for those who wish to sign it. Mr. Phillip's journalism career spanned 7 decades, covering many of the major events in Bermuda's history. He was also known as an outspoken advocate for the equal treatment of Black Bermudians. Chief Justice Ian Kawuli was among the first to pay tribute to Mr. Phillip. Tiffany Phillip, the late writer's great-grandniece, told us she hopes his legacy inspires many more Bermudians.
I've heard nothing but good things about him, and he did a lot for Bermuda. And it's going to be a big miss. And I hope that somebody else follows in his suit.
And the book of condolences will be available for signing next Monday and Tuesday between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Lots more coming up after a short break, including how Bermuda might be able to soca its way to fitness, plus all the latest sports headlines. See you in a minute.
Check out the great products at our $4 Depot stores. Party bags, candles, soaps, and a variety of health and beauty items, even candy. A number of kitchen items, aluminum baking pans, an assortment of socks in various sizes, even baby products. For choice of items for only $2.50 each. Stop by any of our 4 stores today. The Dollar Depot, stretching your dollars further.
Are you looking to expand your customer base, increase sales, and be a part of the Island Community Events for 2018? Bermuda Broadcasting Company can make that happen.
Be a part of World Cup 2018, Bermuda Day Half Marathon, Bermuda Heroes Weekend, Cup Match Classic, and Eastern Counties Cricket.
Inquire about our new advertising opportunities, whether big or small. We will deliver. Come and see us at Fort Hill, Devonshire, or email us at sales@bbc.pm or send us a message on Facebook at Bermuda Broadcasting.
It was a sweat-filled lunchtime for more than 20 people who took part in the latest event for Public Health Week, a soca session in blazing sunshine. They were put through their paces by an instructor from a local health club. Hal Davis was there and thankful to be filming from the sidelines.
The Royal Yacht Club has perhaps not seen such strenuous exercise on its doorstep for years. Billed as a soca sweat class, it was certainly energetic, but also inclusive, with a wide range of ages and body types taking part. Though there was the odd dissenter who seemed less than enthusiastic. The event is part of Public Health Week, organised by the Ministry of Health, an attempt to get people thinking about exercise, on an island where 75% of the population are overweight or obese, according to some estimates. So what did those taking part think of today's event?
I thought it was amazing. It was a good workout. You worked every core in your body, and she did it at a good pace that everyone could be involved. I think it was an awesome workout.
It was awesome. I love her classes. I take them at her gym Tuesdays at 5:30. It's great.
And events like these are important, as today's instructor pointed out, giving those taking part a thorough workout.
It's great cardiovascular exercise. We do different body parts as well. So you're working the whole body. You're not just dancing around. And even when you're dancing, that's exercise. I do like to work a lot on the legs. That's the squats and different things like that.
So a good example for Bermudians to follow. And the hope is that Public Health Week will encourage more people to do more exercise. An obviously worthwhile initiative. But whether that hope is fulfilled remains to be seen. Hal Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Looks like fun. Turning to sports now, and Bermuda's young track stars shine in the United States while their football equivalents hit the European leagues. Earl Baisden has that story and much more.
Several Bermuda youngsters are representing high schools overseas, standing on top of the podium in the sport of track and field. Shanae Smith represented the Victoria Christian Center women's track and field at the Gaston Christian Home second track meet of the season. Smith won the women's varsity 100-meter final, stopping the clock in a time of 12:60. She would then win the women's varsity 200 meters, clocking a personal best time of 26:70. Smith would then close out winning the varsity women's 400-meter race with a personal best time of 1:02:40. More Bermuda athletes, including Zakiah Lewis, Malik Jewell, and Sejan Harvey, represented St. Johnsbury men's and women's track and field at the Raymond Fay track in an 8-school track meet. In the men's varsity 1,500-meter race, Jewell finished third, clocking a time of 4:32:70, while Harvey finished fourth, clocking 4:32:90. Harvey ran the second leg and Jewell ran the third leg, helping the St. Johnsbury men's 4x400-meter relay team finish first with a time of 3:46:40. Harvey then led off the St. Johnsbury winning men's varsity 4x800-meter relay team that clocked a time of 9:12:90. Lewis would win the women's varsity 200 meters, stopping the clock in a time of 27:60. Lewis would lead the women's varsity 4x100-meter relay team that clocked a winning time of 53:60. She would also win the women's varsity long jump with a top leap of 4.57 meters. The Department of Youth, Sport, and Recreation recognizes that there is a unique body of knowledge vital to enabling sports coaches to effectively perform their many roles. Jacon Ednes from the Department of Youth, Sport, and Recreation tells us about an upcoming Coaching for Success seminar.
First things first, the course is not sport specific, but has more to do with the mental aspect of coaching, which is also very important. So what they can expect is developing their skills on learning how to develop culture for their practices, how to develop competitors, learning how to give positive motivation, and getting the best from their athletes and different things of that nature. So that's what the course is focusing on, more the mental aspect and building relationships with your athletes so that in turn coaches can get the best out of them. There will be 4 modules over the course of the weekend, May 4th to 6th. The first module is developing competitors. The second module is developing culture in practices and games. The third module is positive motivation and getting the best of the athletes. And the fourth is coaching for peak performance. So it touches on different aspects of coaching, and hopefully the coaches that do register can learn a lot from it and enhance their coaching and get the best out of their athletes.
Najee Smith and Najee Brockington and their Independent Schools Football Association teammates finished a thoroughly impressive unbeaten season with a 2-2 draw against a physical Taboo side from Belgium. Meanwhile, Jair Parfit-Williams and his NK Ruda Valenja teammates went down 3-2 in their Estonia Premier Division match against Ankaran. 10 goals were scored in the latest round of the Bermuda Ball Hockey League, taking place at the PCC Hockey Rink, where the Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Vancouver Canucks 5-2. The Toronto Maple Leafs got single goals from John Duda, Scott Shannon, Ian Nash, Christopher Merritt, and Aaron Cook, while Nathan Kalowski and Shannon Goose scored a goal each for the Vancouver Canucks. In the nightcap, the Winnipeg Jets defeated the Edmonton Oilers 3-0, with Jeffrey Marash scoring twice and Jeremy Esty adding the other. With the International Cricket Council World Cricket League Division 4 matches set to take place April 29th through to May 6th, we now take a look at the teams who will compete against Bermuda. Uganda and Malaysia qualified through relegation from the World Cricket League Division 3 tournament by finishing 5th and 6th. Bermuda and Denmark qualified by finishing 3rd and 4th in the World Cricket League Division 4, which took place in Los Angeles. Jersey and Vanuatu qualified by finishing 1st and 2nd in the World Cricket League Division 5 that took place in South Africa and were subsequently promoted. According to the current ICC rankings, Bermuda are ranked 28th. The Bermuda Softball Association League season resumed at the Michael Priest Softball Diamond with a doubleheader that saw 77 runs cross the plate. In the opener, Docksiders defeated the Blue Wahoos 22-7, and then the Parakeet Flyers defeated the Hakanua Matata Charters 28-20. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thanks, Earl. Well, staying with sports, the U.S. Tennis Association's National Clay Court Championships are taking place here. 90 top-class players are competing in the tournament, which is being held at Coral Beach and Tennis Club. We spoke with former French Open doubles champion Fred McNair about his experience playing in the inaugural Bermuda tournament.
First of all, the opportunity to come down here and play in your inaugural event. So kudos to Bermuda, to the committee, to the Coral Beach Tennis Club, and the rich history. I'm preaching to the choir. It goes back to 1874 and the very founding of the game in North America with Mary Outerbridge. So I was here a mere 40 years ago. I played an exhibition match. Gene Scott organized it. I'm pretty sure I was here with Vitas Gerulaitis and Jeannie Mayer. Wow. And at the time, my partner and I were #1 in the world in doubles. And that was my first trip to Bermuda. I also came here to be best man in my best friend's wedding 25 years ago. And didn't bring my tennis rackets. It was on the golf course. But I certainly remember really this setting. It's just priceless. So thank you for organizing this event and hosting the 40s, 50s, 60s, 65s, and 70s. Yeah. In terms of my history in tennis, my doubles marriage, my partnership in 1975 with a tall Texan named Sherwood Stewart. Right off the bat, we just hit the ground running, and we became #1 in the world for about 18 months. We wish we could have sat on that perch a little bit longer. We were French Open champions in 1976. We won the Masters in Houston in 1976. I got to play Davis Cup and represent my country. I love the game. I love to slide and glide more now, you know. I mean, the joints aren't what they used to be for everybody. But to be in this environment, again, compliments to you, the committee, the hotel, the property for inaugurating this event. And my friends are going to hear about it.
And that's all from us for tonight. We'll be back next Monday with all the top stories of the day. But for now, I'm Diane Brewer wishing you a good night and a great weekend.